Yep, I quit coffee. Yes, I did. Oh, and I miss my dear coffee. I miss it so much, boys. But I gotta tell you, there are some profound energy benefits and general cognitive benefits, interestingly, to quitting coffee. It's something that I do every 6 months or so, maybe a little more. There are benefits to cognition. There are benefits to sleep. There are benefits to general energy throughout the day, not just because your energy normalizes, but because of hydration. And we're gonna talk about that. But what I really wanna do is give you my breakdown of experience in drinking coffee, a good amount of it pretty much every day, and then stopping cold turkey. First, though, discount codes. The most popular product we've launched besides the Stacks is Supercharged Dopamine. It's a course that teaches you how to rebuild dopamine from the ground up. That course right now is 20% off. The code for that is 20 now. Cortex Stack, high-level focus, clean stimulant flow, mental energy. You get this thing for 25% off right now. Code is 25 Cortex. My baby, my brainchild. They're the most purchased nootropic stack on the internet. All-day energy and focus and motivation. The Torque Stack, 25% off. Code is 25 Torque. So if you need help with your TRT protocol, with nootropics, with energy optimization, with sexual dysfunction, with ED, I do consulting on all those topics, and you can hire me in under a minute at livecortex.com. So the dreaded caffeine break. Yes, I took a break from caffeine. I do it every 6 months or so. I'll drink coffee for a while, then I'll just stop. And usually I do that because I understand what it feels like when I stop drinking. And after the terrible period, which I'm going to get to, of headaches and lethargy and feeling like shit, I end up feeling very, very normalized and balanced and good. I like to do this because then after a few months or so of not drinking coffee, then when I go back to coffee, it's almost psychedelic when I drink it again. I mean, it's like profound stimulation. I'm like, dude, why did I quit? I love this so much. And that lasts, for the first month or two or whatever, then I'm into it. Then it just becomes normal. I drink coffee. And then I get to the point again where I just want to back off of it, cycle off and have that reset. So let's just get right into what happened, how I felt, how long it took me to recover, and when I quit. So I quit coffee at this point. It was the 28th of January. It is now the 7th of February. So it's been, 3 + 7, 10 days or so. The first 48 hours were defined by, my whole life was defined by a splitting headache. All right, let's talk about the first 48 hours. The first 48 hours are the hardest when quitting caffeine. For me, the most overarching symptom was a headache, right? The typical caffeine withdrawal headache. My head was pounding, but not like migraine status. It was just an annoying, painful, somewhat limiting headache that lasted 48 hours. It was just 2 straight days that I was awake. My headache was present. And yes, that sucked. I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't focus for long. I could focus, right? Nootropics certainly help. I was, doubling my dose of Torque, which absolutely helped on the stimulation side of things. And, it's got a methylxanthine analog, teacrine, in it, which is very, very useful when you're not drinking coffee to be taking, these other analogs. If you want the best nootropic there is in the land, just buy Torque, or don't buy it, and I'll just take it all. I was falling asleep sooner. I fell asleep fine. Like, I actually slept okay, and I would sleep sooner, like 9:30 at night rather than 11 or so. I'd be like, okay, I'm just like, I want to get rid of this headache. I just want to sleep this out. Sleeping when you quit coffee is one of the best things you can do to just accelerate the process. If you can take a nap during the day, even better. After those 2 days of basically, having a lack of focus and motivation and kind of generally feeling a little lethargic, as well as having a fucking persistent headache that just was like, hello, hi. Reminder, you quit coffee. Just a constant reminder. The headache cleared, which was good. And then I felt pretty good for the next 2 to 3 days. All right. Not back to my baseline, not my usual self, but I could focus. I could concentrate. I was pretty good with no headache. Then though, at day 5 or 6 and into day 10, this is where the real change typically tends to happen for people that quit caffeine. It was finally my energy normalized. When I go to execute business work in the morning time, which is when I'm the most productive. During that time, what I noticed is that I didn't feel the need to just burst, get everything done in a 2-hour period, all the important stuff. I was perfectly okay with over a 5-hour period with sustained energy, just executing work. Whereas with caffeine in the picture, it's you only have that caffeinated buzz for 2 to 3 hours and maybe less, maybe a little more, depends on the person, right? So you're itching to get the work done and you're in that sort of sympathetic dopamine, high energy state, which feels good. However, it's hard to relax and sometimes it's actually a little hard to focus, right? You're kind of just all over the place and it's easier to multitask. So at day 5 and 6, I started to just regulate in terms of, how I work over a sustained period of time, a longer period of time. I would give more conscious thought or more deliberate thought into what I was doing. And throughout the rest of the day, my energy was more sustained. This always happens when I quit caffeine, and that's why I do it. Energy just feels like more on an even playing field rather than these highs and lows, this like instant burst, and then you're a little fatigued after, and then you kind of got to reset, and you go back to work and you're okay, maybe consume a little more coffee. You know, if I was going out like on dates or to restaurants or doing something in the evening, I would have like a little bit of coffee before I went. That always kind of jump started things, and that was good. But now that I'm balanced off of caffeine, I really don't need it. You know what I mean? I just have sustained energy throughout the day, and it's not that hyper sympathetic drive energy. It's very normalized, but still good energy. Now, here's the other really interesting thing and a benefit. And by the way, I'm not saying quit coffee. I love coffee. I drink coffee again for 6 months or 8 months or something, and then I quit for a while. And then I drink coffee, and then I quit for it. It's been a cycle for 10 years. However, because caffeine is a potent diuretic, meaning it directly lowers antidiuretic hormone, so you urinate more. You, by nature of doing that, lose electrolytes, and not just water, not just sodium, but chloride. Chloride is the most abundant electrolyte besides sodium in your body that is necessary for fluid balance and energy in your cells. Like side point, you know, if you're consuming too much sea salt and not enough table salt, you're probably not getting enough chloride. Table salt is really where it's at for chloride. With caffeine, you know, especially if you're drinking a lot of it, you're just urinating out electrolytes. And people don't recognize this because the threshold or the scale is big, right? You could have perfect electrolytes and you feel really fucking awesome. But, you know, if you're limited in any capacity, even if it's just a little bit, like you're just missing it, you're just a little bit lower on chloride, a little bit lower on sodium, your brain performance is going to be less optimal because of that. People just don't notice it. They're like, oh, why do I feel lethargic or whatever throughout the day? I mean, I'm going to do a whole separate video about salt. But what I noticed is that my energy was better just as a byproduct of me not urinating out electrolytes, right? Because of the diuretic nature of caffeine. Now, this is really critical for persistent energy throughout the day. Now, as it relates to nootropics, obviously they were like crutches in the meantime. Cortex Torque, I have endless supplies because these are my supplements, obviously. But what I noticed is that after, you know, that clearing period, again, day 5, day 6, where things started to get better, I noticed that my nootropics were a little more powerful. I really can't explain why that is happening. It could be like my brain is back in some baseline organized state, and then it's really getting the benefits of nootropics. But then, I mean, both of our stacks have methylxanthine analogs in it. You know, the Cortex stack's got dynamine in it and teacrine, and the Torque stack has teacrine in it. So interestingly, you know, quitting caffeine, but bringing in the other caffeine analogs, some of these other methylxanthines, like theobromine even, like I got a more pronounced kind of energetic brain effect, but still that good, nice balance that is like not that sympathetic, dominant caffeine state. I'm at day 10 right now, and I feel pretty good. My energy is very normalized. My sleep is a little bit better. I also noticed that throughout the day, my brain is less, you know, I guess less anxious, or my brain is doing less things out of my control. You know, I'm kind of in control of it, and I don't have this sort of rampant runaway train neurological stuff happening, like where I'm just sort of thinking stuff that I'm not even consciously trying to think. So when will I go back on caffeine? I probably 2-3 months. You know, I like to balance it out, let it stay in this new state, you know, give me the homeostasis, let my body get used to it and my brain get used to it. Then though, bringing caffeine back is always like a crazy experience. Like the first cup of coffee, I'm like, why did I quit? This stuff is so incredible. So a couple months is going to go by, and then I'll probably bring it back in at lower doses, maybe just a cup in the morning or a shot of espresso. But look, if you're trying to quit coffee because it's, you know, sucking the electrolytes out of you, which is a big thing, and people don't recognize that, you know, hydration is so important for cognitive function, man. Not just water. Water is not hydration. Water plus electrolytes plus glucose is hydration. Then yes, you're going to have a 2 to 3 day period where you're cognitively a little foggy and you're probably going to have a headache. But after that, sustained solid energy, better sleep, better focus, less anxiety, normal energy, natural energy. So yes, I quit caffeine.
Oh, you're having a bad day? Did you die?
I got shot.
But did you die?
No, I didn't die. Yes, the headache sucked. My energy's more sustained. I sleep better. I generally feel better. I think better, and I have less anxiety. All right, boys, I'm coming up on busy season for consulting. So if you need to book me, please book me now, especially on the bigger consults. You know, all my areas of expertise are right there. Torque Stack, one of the best caffeine alternatives on the planet. Right now, 25% off. Code for that is 25TORQUE. Cortex Stack, another caffeine Adderall alternative, very effective for brain performance. 25% off. Code for that is 25Cortex. And again, Supercharged Dopamine is the most popular product we've ever launched. I hate to be hyperbolic, but like it will change your life if you need dopamine optimization. It is cheap right now. Code for that is 20 now, saves you 20%, livecortex.com. Like the video, subscribe if you are not subscribed. Comment in the comment section so I can heart it or respond. Hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one.